Hello everyone, welcome to yet another Zohar reading for world peace. Today we're going to be reading from this week's portion, which is Hakut, called the Statute. And as usual, we'll just show you around in order for you to be able to find that and read from it if you so wish. To do so, you just go to Kabbalah.info, click on the Zohar, then click on Study the Zohar. And then you just go down a little bit to where you can see the file here for Zohar for All, Hakut, the Statute. So that's what we're going to be reading from today. And just before we get into it, let's just see who's joining us in this big world group of great friends today who have awakened with points in their hearts to wish to draw the light through the reading of the Zohar. We have Martin from Southern England, a very wet Southern England. Carl from Pennsylvania, Ed from Northern Ohio, Mel from Sydney, Australia, Julie from Salt Lake City, Olu from the UK, Michaela from Romania, To Be Conscious from Denmark, Sylvie from the Netherlands, Susan, hello from Toronto, Annie, shalom from North Carolina, Albert, greetings from Germany, Odongo, hi people, Lisbeth from the Netherlands, Patricia from Ohio, hello dear friends, so grateful to be here with you all of you. Dewey, shalom from Shalom Yol from Alabama, Sonia from Oslo, Tolik from Brooklyn, Eva sending her love, Zid, hi from Tunisia, Akai from Peru, and getting some, also Kev, g'day from Ireland, Kathy from France, Megan from Portland, Gulru from Istanbul, build my balance sheet. Hi, I'm Sean in Melbourne. Wow, some interesting time zones you're connecting from. It's great to be with all of you here. And just before we get into reading the Zohar, so we're going to just watch a short clip with Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman, preparing us for such a reading of such a lofty Kabbalistic text.
When I speak about my attitude towards bestowal, towards the souls and towards society, then with that attitude, I distinguish, I clarify everything the Zohar speaks of, everything, the forces, the discernments, the qualities which he paints for me here. It doesn't speak of anything outside of that. My inclination to bestow upon others and the manners and styles of bestowal which I attain through my effort. That is what the text is about, and each one should make an effort to find within these words only his inclination to bestow. There's no other subject matter here.
Okay, so we're reading from Zohar for All in the section Hakut, the Statute. This is the statute of the law. 1. This is the statute of the law. And this is the law that Moses set before the sons of Israel. These are holy words of Torah. They are superior, they are sweet. As it is written, they are more desirable than gold, yes, than much fine gold, and sweeter than honey. One who engages in Torah, it is as though he stands by Mount Sinai each day and receives the Torah, as it is written, this day you have become a people. 2. It is written here, and this is the statute of the law. It is also written, this is the law, and it is not written the statute of. What is the difference between them? This is the law, is to show that all is in one unification, to include the assembly of Israel, Malchut, in the Creator, Zeir Anpin, so all will be one. For this reason, and this is the law. Why is there an added vav to and this? It is to show that all is one without separation, and this includes general and particular together, male and female together, since vav is male, Zeir Anpin, general, and this is female, the Malchut, particular. This is why it is written, and this is the law, indicating Zeir Anpin and Nukva in one unification. But this, without the added vav, is the statute of the law, Malchut, which is called statute, coming from Zeir Anpin, who is called Torah. Law and Torah are synonymous. Yet not the Torah herself, Zeir Anpin, but only the din, the judgment of Torah, the decree of Torah, which is Malchut. 3. It is written, this is that which pertains to the Levites. It does not write, and this, with a vav, since they come from the side of din, from the left side, Malchut, which is built from the left and not from the side of Rachamim, Zeir Anpin. This is why it writes this without a vav, Malchut, without Zeir Anpin. However, it is written, and do this to them that they may live. This with a vav. This is said of the Levites, for the Levites are this and not and this. Of course, they are and this, since one who grips to the potion of death is certain to die, unless he mingles the potion of life in it. This is why it is written, and do this to them that they may live, so that this, Malchut, the tree of death, would conjoin with the vav, Zeir Anpin, the tree of life, and they would not die, since the potion of life is mingled in him. For this reason, and do this to them that they may live and not die, since they need and this, and not this. This is why the words, and this is the law, indicates that it is actually in one unification, complete unification, male and female included in one, vav hey. But only this without the vav, and, is the hey alone, without the vav, Malchut without Zeir Anpin. It is written about it, this is the statute of the law. Section, a man removed his shoe. 5. And this was before in Israel concerning the redemption and the exchange to confirm any matter. A man removed his shoe and gave it to another. If the first agreed to buy everything using a shoe, in the sentence of the Torah, the last ones came and cancelled it. We should ask, why did they cancel it? After all, one who cancels a word of Torah, it is as though he destroyed an entire world. And if this was not by the law of Torah, but only by agreement, we should ask, why specifically a shoe here and not some other thing? 6. It was certainly by the law of Torah, and it was done with a high meaning, because the first ones were righteous, pious. The matter was revealed among them. But when the wicked multiplied in the world, the matter was done in a different way, to cover the matters, which are of a high meaning. 7. And he said, do not come near here. Take your shoes off your feet. Why a shoe here? It is because he commanded him to retire from his wife and bond with another woman, of the upper holy light, divinity. 8. A shoe places him in a different place. One who takes it removes the one who gives from this world, and places him in another world. Hence everything that the dead gives to a person in a dream is good. But if he took an object from the house, it is bad, such as taking his shoe, for it indicates that he has moved his leg, which is one's existence, from this world, and gathered him into another world, to the place where the dead dwell. This is because the shoe implies his leg, which is his existence. As it is written, "How beautiful are your steps in shoes, O prince's daughter." 9. When the dead takes him, it indicates that he has moved him to the place of death. But when the live one removes his shoe and gives it to another, to keep the possession, he effects the decree of above, that it is decreed that the possession will move from the possession of one to the possession of another. A shoe of halitza, removal, released by the widow, is another shoe such as above. 10. When this dead departs from the world without children, the daughter of that prince Malchut does not gather him to her. Rather, he walks and wanders in the world, finding no place, and the Creator takes pity on him and commands his brother to redeem him, so he may return and be corrected in another dust, meaning so he will reincarnate, as it is written, "And man shall return to dust." 11. If this Redeemer does not wish to revive his brother in the world, to marry his wife, the brothers, so he may return and incarnate in the newborn son, a shoe must be tied to his leg, and that woman shall release him and take that shoe to her. And why a shoe? That shoe is for the dead, for it is regarded as belonging to the dead one. It is placed in his living brother's leg, and the woman, the widow who was married to marry the brother, receives that shoe to her, to show that the dead returns to being among the living by this act. The shoe indicates the woman, the widow, the marrying object, which is tied to the leg of his living brother, to bring his dead brother to be among the living, so he reincarnates in the newborn son. 12. It is the opposite of that shoe which the dead takes from the living one in the dream, whereby taking the shoe he removes the living one from this world to the other world, that of the dead. Now, with the shoe of halitza, the living takes from the dead. For this reason, with that shoe, the dead goes to be among the living, since the living woman removed the dead from the other world to this world, among the living, who would reincarnate in the son that was to be born of the marrying of the brother. And now that he does not wish to marry, the woman takes it to her, to show that the woman is her husband's crown, divinity, taking him and accepting him to her. 13. That shoe must be thrown to the ground, to show that the body of that dead has still gone. At that time, or after some time, the Creator will take pity on him and accept him in the other world. Also, the striking of the shoe from the woman's hand to the ground is to show that that dead will be built from another dust of this world, meaning reincarnate. And now he will first return to the dust from which he came. Then that woman is permitted to make another seed. 14. Hence, one who wishes to keep the possession takes his shoe and gives it to another, to keep the possession with him, as it is written, "And this was before in Israel concerning the redemption and the exchange to confirm any matter. And this, Malchut, stood whole in everything. Before in Israel, when they were humble and holy. To confirm any matter implies the upper zivug, Yesod and Malchut, since any is Yesod. Matter is Malchut, as this is keeping. And this was the attestation in Israel. It is not mere consent to make a possession with the shoe, and they do it of their own accord. Rather, it is a high keeping, so their works below will be as the meaning of above, for it implies a zivug of Yesod and Malchut, the upper keeping. 15. Once the wicked multiplied in the world, they covered the matter in a different way, making a possession with the edge of the garment. That garment is a high correction, Ziranpin, and the edge of the garment, Malchut, which is called edge, implies the zivug of Ziranpin and Malchut, like the shoe. It is written, and shall not uncover his father's skirt. Thus the woman is called an edge. Section, this is the statute of the law. 16. This is the statute of the law. This is the token of the covenant, which is called this. They did not part from one another. That is, in the word this, zot, Malchut, the word this, ze, Yesod, is included. It indicates that Yesod and Malchut do not part from one another. From Nukva, we come to the male. Hence, keep and remember, male and female, are connected together. The statute of the law, it should have said the law of Torah, also known as law. What is statute? 17. Malchut is a statute. It was clarified that the letter He was a Dalet, but Tav is Dalet and Nun joined together. Also, Nun is called Nun, with Nun Vav Nun, as it is written, and do not deceive one another. For Nun is from the word Hona'ah, deceit or fraud. Now she is with a bright face. However, she deceives people. For afterwards she strikes as a serpent and consumes and kills. She says, I have done no wrong. This is why she is called so, with Nun Vav Nun, as in Hona'ah, deceit, which is said about Nun. Tav is everything together. Dalet Nun is like Nun and Resh, for Resh Yud Shin and Dalet Lamed Tav are the same thing. Both are poor, and in engraved letters, statute, which has the letters of rule, and Tav. Since this is Malchut, it would have been enough to write, this is the statute of the law. Why did the verse extend the statute, or the law of the Torah, with a Tav? Tav is giving of taste to what is called a law. It is so because the depiction of the letter Tav is a connection of two letters, Dalet and Nun, where the Dalet indicates the dinim de d'chura that extend from the left line, as it is Chochmah without Chasadim. The Nun indicates dinim de nukva, the dinim de masach in her, and the statute is the law of Dalet Nun, that was carved in these two kinds of dinim, these two kinds of judgments. It follows that the letter He was Dalet. The He in the name Havaya was previously Dalet, meaning that first she was in the left without right, at which time she was poor and meager. And this is why she is called Dalet, from the word Dalut, poverty. But Tav is Dalet and Nun conjoined. There are two letters, Dalet and Nun, in the form of the Tav. The Nun strikes as a serpent, consumes and kills. She said, I have done no wrong. She is dinim de nukva, to which the Sitra Achra grips. The people of the world are provoking when the face of Malchut shines, and it is not so, but strikes like a serpent. This is why she is called so, with a Nun Vav Nun, from the word Hona'ah, deceit, which is said about the Nun. The Tav is everything together, Dalet Nun. In the form of the Tav, there are Dalet Nun together, two kinds of dinim, of Tzuchura and of Nukva. And if you say that the form of the Tav is Resh Nun, he says to that the Dalet Nun are similar to Nun Resh, since Resh Yud Shin and Dalet Lamed Tav are one thing. Both indicate poverty and meagerness, which are Dinim de Tchura. For Resh also means poverty, from the words poverty and meagerness. Hence, there is no difference whether the form of Tav is Dalet Nun or Resh Nun, as both have the same meaning and indicate Dinim de Nukva and Dinim de Tchura. In the carved letters, the statute has the letters of Chok, law, and Tav, which means a law of Dinim de Tchura and Dinim de Nukva, included in the Tav. Chok and Tav are one word, indicating Dinim de Malchut. A red heifer. 18. That they bring you an unblemished red heifer in which there is no flaw. This heifer comes for purity, to purify the impure. Malchut that receives from the left. To the left is an ox, Gvura de Ziranpin, as it is written, and the face of an ox on the left. Red means as red as a rose, as it is written, as a rose among the thorns. Red means the sentence of the din, since the dinim of the left line are called red. 19. Unblemished, as it is said in the Zohar on that matter, an unblemished ox, a goring ox. An unblemished ox means weak din. A goring ox is harsh din. Here too, unblemished means weak din, lower gvura, malchut. The upper gvura, Gvura de Ziranpin, is the strong and harsh hand. The left side is called an ox. It is known that the illumination of Chokhmah extends from the left. However, this is only from below upward, which is female light, Malchut. This is called an unblemished ox, weak din, as it is from below upwards. But with respect to the male light, which illuminates from above downward, the left line of Ziranpin, Gvura de Ziranpin, it is forbidden to extend. This is why it is called harsh din, and it is called a goring ox. 20. In which there is no flaw, as it is written, you are all beautiful, my wife, and there is not a flaw in you. Because she illuminates in illumination of Chokhmah, she is called beautiful. For all the flaws are healed by the illumination of Chokhmah, on which a yoke has never been placed. It writes yoke without a vav, as it is written, the man who was raised on high declares, since she is those who are peaceful and faithful in Israel, and he is not on her but with her. On which a yoke has never been placed is, as is written, the Virgin of Israel, a virgin, and no man had known her. There are two states in Malchut. 1. As she was on the fourth day in the work of creation, the two great lights, when Ziranpin and Malchut clothed the two lines of Bina, Ziranpin clothing the right line of Bina, and Malchut the left line of Bina. At that time, Malchut was as big as Ziranpin, for she did not receive from Ziranpin, but from Bina, the same place from which Ziranpin received. 2. After the diminution of the moon, she was diminished and went below Ziranpin, receiving from him. There is greater merit to the first state than to the second state, since in the first state she is in the completeness of the degree, like Ziranpin. However, there is a great drawback because then she is in Chokhmah without Chasadim, and the Chokhmah in her cannot illuminate without Chasadim, so she is dark. This is why she complained. There is also a merit in the second state, for then she has Chesed from Ziranpin, since the illumination of Chokhmah in her clothes in him and illuminates abundantly. However, there is the slight drawback of her diminishing and becoming the lower degree of Zeranpin, having nothing of her own except what she receives from Zeranpin. Red Haifa is Malchut from the first state, as it is written, in which there is no flaw. It is as it is written, you are all beautiful, my wife, and there is not a flaw in you. For then, in the first state, when she clothes the left line of Bina and receives Chokhmah from her, though Chokhmah cannot illuminate in her, she is still utterly perfect in herself, and there is no flaw in her. Also, she is all beautiful due to the illumination of Chokhmah that she suckles from the left line of Bina. That's all we have time for today, friends. It's been wonderful being with you all once again. Let's just have a quick shout out to everyone who's joined us since we last read out who was here with us. I think we're up to Megan from Portland, Oregon, and then we have we're actually up to here, Jean from California. Hello, Jean. And Alexander Luzin. Hello there. I also have the Zohar, but I don't understand much, just reading. That's great. We'll see a clip with Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman about that in a second. Jocelyn, much love from Ontario. Lorenzo, greetings from Australia. Love and world peace for all of us. Linda, thank you, Linda from California. Abidemi, my friends from Lagos in Nigeria. Jenny, hello from Finland. Frederick, hi to all. Sarkis, hello from Armenia. Greetings from Indiana. And we have more and more friends who have written earlier. It's been great being here once again with you all. Also on Facebook here we have quite a few of you. Iveta, Greg, hello from Nebraska. Mustafa, hello to you, Mustafa. John from Illinois. David from Florida. Iveta from France, and also John Philip Brooks. Nice to see you here too. It's been great being with you all once again, and having the privilege to be able to read the one of the, if not the highest spiritual text ever written to you. And we're now going to go out with a clip by Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman, talking some more about how to approach this most exalted of Kabbalistic texts. See you all later. Until next week.
So what does it mean for one to come out of exile? Using the Torah correctly in order to draw the light, which then brings him a change, a transformation in his will to receive, such that he can use the will to receive instead of for his own benefit, for the benefit of others, meaning it reforms one. And until we come to that, wanting to emerge from our will to receive, which is bad, and enter the will to bestow, our will to bestow, which is good, we say that we are still in exile, or perhaps we don't even feel that it is exile yet. And only the need for the means by which to turn the will to receive into the will to bestow attests to the fact that we are ready to emerge from the exile, and exiting the exile is done by the correct usage of the Torah.